Coach, this is the city, Los Angeles, California. That's where we are for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense. High five. Watch the pass.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... It got his man, complete. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Set, 15 line, 15 line.
Yes, move. Every jet, any jet. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Everett, that's taken in by Henderson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Bravo. Ready, go. Shoot.
From the gun, Everett launching one for Henderson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Try to get it to Woods, and that'll bring up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They're going to look to throw. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This quarterback now Already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun to give to Jones. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards, the final tally. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
He'll pick up 7 there on the 1st down keeper.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
Find the mic. Find the mic.
Let's go, D.
Back to throw. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Kill.
On first down, it's Gurley. Grant Haley in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Single receiver.
Hey, high 7. Go.
Operating from the gun. Everett going up top for Cup. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll look to throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They go play action here on first down. Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
You can't block me. You can't block him. You can't block me. Get him on.
2nd and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having ball.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. That's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch 36. 36 to Mike. Hey, check. Hit it.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
What? 36 to Mike.
Be careful, be careful.
From the gun, Everett. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. This is taken at the 23. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Check.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And an alley to run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Now, that's the defensive coordinator's nightmare right there. You're covering everyone, and the guy's not even the intended receiver ends up making the play.
Right place, right time, I guess.
When that ball's tipped up in the air like that, you've got to go up and get it. Offense and defense, and in this case, the offense ended up grabbing it.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
So if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Everett. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Ready.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got
No!
keep moving.
Hey, Zoo! Sit up.
2nd down, it's Henderson. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Again, it's Henderson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, but it'll be second down.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
Come. 5.
Throwing again. Everett. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to battle it up.
He can run for it, and he will. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Yeah.
56 of Mike.
Go.
From the gun, Everett. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it makes the score 21-10. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
24 is the mic. That's it.
2nd and 13. Going right side here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll set up to throw. He's got Adams on the hookup. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. first down carry by Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
What we got? What we got? What we got? Let's go, D. Big series.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's caught here by Adams. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. A gain of 6 there on first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The Packers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Rams on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey, wahoo!
Operating from the gun, Everett. Being chased out left. And an alley to run. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. On 1st and 10, Everett. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
2nd and 3. Throwing right, and that's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
A loss of a yard on the play. It's now 3rd down and 4.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Blue draw quarters.
From the gun, Everett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Henderson going to run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a first carry for their fullback. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The football, it's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Go, go, go. Ready?
On 1st down, Everett. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Kevin King with a pick, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Woods, the intended receiver. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 21-yard line.
Let's go! Go to base! Here it comes! Got double time! Double time! Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
A loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger And dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Packers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time, right?